saw Ronnie in a tracksuit. I was like early 20s. I thought I was doing all right with a big sustain on head and everything. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing all right. And then I saw Ronnie in a tracksuit. I thought, he doesn't look that big. And then he just took his tracksuit off and he's like, fucking like, he had so much muscle, he looked fat. It was just hanging. And I was like, oh, yeah, I think I might just buy a fishing rod or something.
Anth Bailes, how are we doing, man?
Good evening. I'm just a little bit tired this evening, gents. So if I get a bit
It's all right.
hazy, we're lacking sleep today. So we've got a can of new tonic. We've had a little bit of nicotine gum, so we should be good.
It's all good. You ready? You ready to go? Ready
Yeah.
to blast? So so one of the things that I wanted to actually ask you is for someone very hardcore in with bodybuilding, your approach has been incredibly hardcore and you're very well known for it. And it's something that, I've followed you for years for that reason. Where does bodybuilding hold in your life at the moment?
I'll just answer that first one quickly because you had this discussion yesterday with a friend of mine. When everybody says like, oh, Andy, you used to train like really hard and you're hardcore. Everybody used to just train like that when I know
Yeah.
I'm so old, but that's how everybody used to train, and that was just like normal training. So it's just because it's compared to like the training of today of like we won't or we might go into that. I don't know about the whole new school old school thing, but now I still like to train hard. I still like to push myself in the gym. Obviously, I don't do the other stuff anymore. I'm just TRT now.
Yeah.
Um, but I still try. I still like to train as heavy as possible, but because it's just a different feeling. I know people say, you don't have to train heavy because I get this all the time. Like, oh, Anth, why do you still try and train heavy and stuff? And because I like it, it's just a different feeling. I don't get very much enjoyment about going in the gym and getting a pump and all that kind of stuff. Which eventually I know it will come to that. I'll become of a certain age. I'll always train, but I won't always be trying to deadlift heavy and squat heavy and stuff. But yeah, I still like to train heavy, but unfortunately Father Time catches up, you get a few injuries, and you just can't really do what you used to be able to do, unfortunately. If I could do
Yeah.
that, I'd still be doing that today because I enjoy it.
100%.
Basically, it.
100%, man. So when you train heavy now, would that be a particular rep range, or is that are you referring to more so just maximum intensity, just training to failure?
Definitely nowadays, I do not even attempt to do any like 6 to 8 stuff. I
Yeah.
generally keep the reps above 10,
Okay.
even like 15, 20. I mean, I know we've got all the studies now saying that as long as you go to failure within like, what is it, like 30 reps or something. Yeah. It's not the same as
Yeah.
like I've said this before. I've squatted like 600 for 10 and 405 for 25. They're both like very hard, but it's just a different hard. And I prefer
Hmm.
the heavy like poundage where you kind of like worry
Yes.
you're gonna fucking kill yourself if you drop it type of thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different feeling. It's a different challenge, isn't it? But yeah, I definitely do higher
100%.
reps nowadays, and I still try and go to failure. I do sometimes have to leave a few reps in reserve, as much as I hate that because of the
Mm.
tricep gets a little bit
Yeah.
kind of gets a bit scary on the left side.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. And I think so like I spoke at an event about the other day about training, like the research is, the studies are saying you could grow within 5 reps from failure, right? But you want to go to if you could go to failure, go to fucking failure. Because you try to judge 5 reps, you will probably stay in 10 reps or whatever. Like the easiest way to know that you're done with a set is when you can't physically actually lift it anymore, right? And I
Yeah.
think for myself, when I apply that rep in reserve, would be on the occasion that you just mentioned, is like if there's an injury, like I'm quite injury prone on deadlifts and stuff like that. So I'll just leave one in the tank because I know that if I do that, I'm probably go for that extra rep. I'm probably not walking for a week. But
Yeah,
if I can safely do it, I don't see why the fuck you wouldn't. I
yeah.
don't
That's
see,
my view on it. Like, why wouldn't you go to failure? Like, just to make
yeah,
sure.
that's it.
It's
That's it.
fun as well. It's like it's pushing
Yeah,
yourself. That's what the whole reason of going to the gym for me was for because I like to push myself.
yeah,
It's like getting to the finish line and like slowing down.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Why
And
would
it's,
you slow down at the end?
yeah, why the fuck would you not? And it's I feel like I don't know, like I got asked to review this training and it was like time sets, timed rest periods, time tempo, time, and then a certain amount of reps and reserve. And I was like, you need to get rid of all that. The main thing you need to do is just train to failure. And that's not going to sound as sophisticated, but it's so much simpler. And because it's so much simpler, it's going to be so much more fucking effective because it's this whole notion of overthinking. I think that that's what it's at, and I do want to segue into that for sure, actually, because I think that would be a great topic to talk about. But before we get into that, um, in regards to bodybuilding for yourself at the moment, are you still following the sport closely?
And I don't like it. I'm real busy these days, to be fair. I got the gym and the subs and the
Yeah,
cook, and I'm a dad as well, and all kinds of other stuff going on. And I do try and, to be honest, I've tried to stay away from social media a little bit, not because I get upset by it or anything. It just eats into your day.
it
You can
does. Yeah,
come there and an hour later it's gone. I could be doing something that's an hour a little bit more productive. So I generally,
yeah,
have my breakfast. I'll scroll through Instagram and maybe there's a little bit of something else on YouTube, listen to some stuff. And
yeah,
on the evening, I might watch a little bit of TikTok for a bit of fun before I go to
yeah,
bed. And there might be a little bit of bodybuilding on there. But yeah, I follow the British scene closer than the kind of, obviously everybody follows the Olympia, but definitely not as closely
yeah,
as I used to.
mm,
Um, just
yeah.
because I'm busy, it's not because I think it's not as well. That's another thing. Being good
Mm.
is it better now? Is it better then? Whatever. But I speak to a lot of guys who say the same. They don't really get that motivated by watching much of the bodybuilding stuff these days, or by very
Yeah,
few ways. Did you see the
yeah.
the recent kind of the beef between Andrew Jack and Derek, like trying to make it look like the WWE? Like it's just so
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah. Because they changed the press conference a couple of years ago, didn't they? And I think they've scrapped it now. But what they were trying to make it WWE then, where before it was like you would sit, it was like when Lee Priest was competing and stuff like that, and he was just saying some shit and whatever. That was authentic because that fucking happened, right? It's not like they're trying to when it's bodybuilding is not WWE, right? It's guys and thongs, like whatever, right? So it's just you can't. Whenever you try to force a beef or like that, they're not actors either. They're
yeah.
really fucking not. It's so transparent, and you're like, okay, just stick to the fucking competing, man. If there's actual beef, you will know, right? You will see it. I like it's like Kai Green and Phil Heath, right? That was amazing, but that was real.
Yeah, you could tell that was really there was actually real aggression behind that. But yeah, the one I saw
Yeah,
yesterday, I was like, oh, it was cringe. And it was like watching like a bad, like low budget movie. Like,
that's
Jesus,
it.
please, cast. Hey, some people might love it. So maybe it's not just me being miserable. And I'm thinking about the old days where competitors used to go backstage and not even speak to each other and stuff. And
Yeah.
now it's all like hugs and kisses and like trying to make it's false like beef and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like sports is getting that way in general because you've got streamers who are like at the top of the sports, right? It's like Jake Paul with boxing, you know. It's this whole whatever can sell, it's not who's actually the best.
yeah,
And that's I don't want to see that shit into bodybuilding, right? It's like Sam Sulek. Now, fair play to Sam, because that guy does the thing, right? He trains, he eats, he's making his improvements, and he's working hard. It's great, but I don't understand why he's getting. Um, I do because of the following, but when he's entered a show, there's really excellent competitors, and he's the highlight of the show, and this guy is like
yeah.
10th or something. That's that's what I don't like in the sport, really, because it draws away from the actual standard of the physique, right? I think that should be added to. It's like the physique should speak for itself, you know. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think I
10th.
think I think that as the prize money's kind of going up and the sponsors are putting more money in and stuff, It is. I'm not going to say it's going to turn into a popularity contest, but it is more important now, isn't it? Because these guys know they've got like we need to get this sponsor next year, so we need to get bums on seats. They
Yeah.
put much amount of money in this year. We need to raise it next year. Who's going to put some bums into seats? And I hate that phrase, bums into seats, but it is true, isn't it? Like if Sam's got a great physique, but
Mm.
he doesn't, he gets a little bit more attention than he should.
He's
Not,
not quite there yet, man.
yeah,
And it's like he's got more attention than Mr. Olympia. He's getting more attention
yeah.
than the Arnold champ. That's what I'm referring to. Like him as doing his thing, he's just being a competitor, right? And he's documented it. Cool. It's just around that because people will come to me, right? And you'll say, "Oh, how do you reckon Sam's gonna do great at the Arnolds and da, 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 da." And I'm like, no, it's not.
There's a few people ahead. Yeah, and that's not
Yeah,
disrespectful to Sam at all, because he seems like a great. I mean,
no.
I've met him in person. He seems like a great guy. We just kind of
Mm,
discuss the kind of dynamics of it all, and it's nothing against Sam. He seems like a cool guy. I know people
yeah,
are friends with Sam, and he says he's a nice guy, but yeah, he does get a little bit more press than he maybe should, but we understand why.
for sure. Yeah, and I think that sort of, like I say, nothing against Sam at all, but I think it's that type of vibe that's being crossed over is why you seen Derek and Andrew doing some weird shit, man. Like it just having this fake beef, and it's like you can fucking see through that, man. Um, you can see through that. It's
Yeah,
yeah. So I suppose like I I came into this. I've said this a couple of times before on the podcast. I've came into this at a very weird time where it was before it sort of went off on social media,
yeah,
and it was like this authentic when it was still a bit of a cult vibe. Bodybuilding was, and then it went into social media. So I've had this like weird blend of old school and new school, really, and I've been like, poof. And and I've also seen it just shift. And I'm interested to hear like how you've noticed it shift. Bodybuilding in general, what's the key differences that you've noticed for bodybuilding shifting
yeah. I
since
mean,
what you've used?
I've seen way both sides because I started training when I was like 15. I'm
Mm.
coming up to 49, 49 next month.
Oh shit, man.
So I've seen the kind of old school side, and I owned a gym at the old school side as well. So
Yeah,
obviously, I'm seeing people coming in the gym, and I've owned part owned Ultraflex with Charlie, kind of new school, if you like. So I've seen both sides of the gym side and the competitive side, and it has changed a lot. Back in the day, I say back in the day, I sound so old when I say back in the day, but back in the day when it was more a little bit of a cult following, you were a little bit strange if you went to the gym, weren't you? And there was no ladies in the gym, and you basically went to the gym to train.
yeah,
That was it. You went and said hello to your friends, you trained, you maybe had 5, 10 minutes to the end, then you went home. There was
mm,
nowhere to sit and like chat and everything. You were lucky if your gym had a toilet back then. There was no showers, no changing rooms. Max Muscle
yeah,
didn't have any
bro.
changing rooms. Well, actually, we did put some changing rooms in there, and they didn't get used because people generally just came to train, had a chat, then went home. And then now you've got the era of like, and it's not a bad thing because as a gym owner, hey, if someone's spending 3 hours in your gym, they're probably spending more money in there. So it's not a bad thing. I'm just explaining the difference that I see. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It is just different. People spend a lot more time in the gym now. You see a lot more females in the gym, which is great. Um, I think the training's just not taken as seriously anymore because it's blended into a like going to the gym to train and it's a social event. Where my
Yeah,
time was like at the gym, then the social event was after or later. I would go and meet with my friends later on in the day or something. I didn't kind of combine it into one, which again, there's
mhm,
nothing wrong with that, but I do think it affects people's training a lot. It's just too
yeah,
much distraction. But in
yeah.
the same breath, not everybody's going to the gym now to be a hardcore bodybuilder because it's not just a cult following. You've got normal people going to the gym, which again, it's great because it gets more people in the gym. But it's just, yeah, I like the old days when people went to the gym, trained hard, went home, and just socialized after the gym, not in the gym. For
I
me
do.
personally, not I don't mean for
Yeah,
or anything like that.
I love that side of things, and I find that's quite rare for sure. Um, I think you would have to go to a very certain type of gym to achieve that. Probably the gyms that you're talking about. What
Yeah,
I find is quite tricky is when you go into your common gym now, if you're training hard, the, one of the pet peeves that I have is if you're training hard, you're not being excessive, you're just training hard, you train how you need to, right? And people are judging hard training. And I'm like, wow, why would you do that? Like, why would you judge someone trying to fail? It's like if that's what I can't get behind that. I can't get behind like I think live and let live, right? Everyone's you know, but if you're in a position where you're not training hard and you see someone there and go, right, I'm going to put a complaint in about that guy, or I'm going to take the piss out of that guy because he's just trying. Because I've seen it before. I've seen people, training, and there's a group of people taking the piss. I'm like, wow. And then men, grown men, and I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy. That's crazy. That used to be out. That used to be in a commercial gym, and this is now coming into more it's just becoming more prevalent. It's like hard training. I could go into a lot of gyms now, and train to failure is so fucking rare. It's
yeah.
wild. I
This,
could literally, and I'm like, it's actually not even that hard to train to failure, but it's so fucking rare. And if, again, if you like, ugh, you go for it, and it's like people are like taken aback from it, and that's crazy to me.
I mean, I've never
Uh,
seen anybody taking the piss, but I did see a thing on social media the day where it was like, it was somewhere like Planet Fitness. I've seen it before where it says,
mm,
please do not put more than 5 plates on the leg press because you're training too heavy, or just stuff like that.
yeah,
We've never had anybody at Ultraflex like taking the piss out of anybody. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong, we have had some complaints about like screaming and shouting, and like I was always a very loud trainer. And to be
mhm,
fair, looking back, when I watch old videos and stuff, because I would always wear headphones, even with my training partner, I'd wear headphones. When it was his set, I would take one out, just spotting and stuff. We rarely spoke when we trained. And
mm,
we have had a few complaints at Ultraflex as of late of people like screaming their lungs out. Like, I'm out the back doing a job interview, and the gym floor's quite far away. It can get a little bit excessive when someone's got like 10 kilo on the bar and they're doing some curls and they're screaming the fucking place down. I generally think that's for attention. I don't think that's genuine like effort. I would never
yeah. I
take
think
this out of anybody if it's a genuine
no,
effort they're going for type of thing.
yeah. No, yeah, I think Ultraflex is definitely still a bodybuilding gym for sure. I think they're more commercialized than that, but not fully commercial. This is what I'm just seeing it more just creep, and it's becoming a little bit more rarer for people to train and more common for people to pass judgment on people just going for it, going to train hard. I
Yeah.
do agree there is like a fine line of someone just giving, a necessary grunt, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the people are judging is the necessary grunt. But there's also a line of people just making noise for the sake of making noise, you
Yeah,
know?
they're screaming on the warm-up sets and like
Yeah,
it's
that's it, man.
I always say them just save the energy for the real set. Instead of like screaming your head
Yeah.
off when you're warming
Mm,
up, just save it for when you really need it because you're gonna
that's it.
need it if you are gonna go all
Yeah,
out type of thing.
100%. Because I think I was having this discussion the other day and I made some noise for my training partners set. I was like, come on, let's go. Yep. Just motivating them. Like, why do you need to make that noise? I'm like, because it's going to help them.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're in the fucking zone, right? Again, it's not like for every set and every warm-up set and stuff like that. And so people like can't understand the feeling of like just letting it out. It's the outlet of it, right? There's like a performance psychology. You hype yourself up, you're gonna go to war with that set. As cringy as that sounds, you're just for that moment, you're in that set and you're giving everything you possibly can do, especially if it's like a leg press set and you're just going crazy, you go nuts with it. You're like you get lost in it, and the amount you're able to output much more than if you were to just walk in laxy days and you go right, let's go. I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think unless you're doing it, people can understand that.
Yeah, it's because not a lot of people are training like that, and the people don't understand that. And I had this conversation with Leroy when we did a seminar a few weeks back, like months back now, because Leroy's known for being very vocal. You know, he's quite loud. I fucking
Yeah.
love it. It motivates the shit out of me.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
not just for it's not just for show. The guys like that, whether we're training by ourselves or he was doing that like 30 years ago, and he still does it now. And one of Leroy's kind of methods, if you like, is when he's in your head and he's constantly talking to you in some degree, he kind of takes you away from the pain. That's
Yeah.
where the whole kind of the one more. Am I allowed to swear on here, Jack? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll give the one fucking more thing, but you know it ain't going to be one fucking more. He's going to
Mm,
give me two fucking more. Give me one more. Before you know it, you've done an extra 10 reps that you didn't think you were going to get.
yeah.
He will always keep on you in some to some degree, like keep the chest tight, keep your chest up, shoulders back.
Yeah.
He's always on you for that reason to
Mm,
take you away from that kind of pain threshold type of thing. Leroy's a
that's
very
right on.
smart guy. Everybody thinks he just goes around shouting at everybody and screaming at everybody. He's not. He's a very, very smart trainer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And honestly, that makes a difference. It's like it's a form of just being present in the set, right? Well, and it's like there's nothing else in the world apart from that. And whether you're in the set or you in your partner's set, you're in that
yeah,
set. I think that's what Leroy does very well. And again, there's a performance psychology there. You're going to perform better if you've got someone in your fucking set. It doesn't matter if you're doesn't matter where you are. That keeps you accountable. You cannot bitch out, right? If you if you have Leroy in your set, you're not gonna bitch out. You can't, right?
yeah.
Um,
He
and
just generally wants the best from your set. And
that's it.
I'm even
That's
more so
passion.
now because I can't go berserk now. So when I'm spotting somebody, I'm probably a little
Mm,
bit worse because I know, like, I'm giving them my energy to get the best out of this
yeah,
type of thing. But the
that's
one thing I
great.
hate is somebody like this when they're like this. Come on, Paul, one more. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go. Let's get another one. Drive it because everybody says Leroy's saying like drive it up. Come on, drive it up, and they're on the phone. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you would not be my
And
training partner. Goodbye.
no, they're not in the fucking set, man. Like I have, you have, I have boundaries. I have rules, right? It's like you're either in my set or you're not training with me.
Yeah,
I don't want you to be chatting to me, or I don't want you to be telling me. I don't want you to be distracted. I want you to be there
yeah,
so that I can fucking do what I need to do, the job. And in return, I'm gonna be there in your set. And if you do that, again, you're not gonna understand it until you're in it. But if you do that, it is going to be a feeling like you cannot replicate anywhere else. And it's
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's camaraderie, really. When you've got a really good training partner, and you can do that consistently, you're in just a sync where you can just go in, you don't even need to
You have to
speak.
speak to each other. You just like two, one, whatever.
Yeah, 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 exactly, man, exactly.
But since I
Yeah,
retired, well, I never say I'm fully retired. I'm semi-retired from competing and stuff. So I'm not like as serious as that because I'm not in that zone anymore. But I still try to take my training really seriously. And I trained with somebody for a little while, for a few months, and they were like, "Alf, is there something wrong? Like, have I upset you?" Type of thing after a few weeks because you're not really speaking to me and like you're quite serious. And like, yeah, because I'm training. I'm like, we'll have a bit fun afterwards. Like, you haven't upset me or anything. It's just they were getting quite offended that I wasn't because I'm not a fun
yeah,
person to train with. As much as training is fun,
yeah,
I like to
but
the hard training is the fun bit, not the
yeah.
messing around being idiots. That's not fun.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly that. That is the work is the fun, right? That's the beauty of it. Hey guys, I want to tell you about the brand new Progressive State community group on School. This is a one-stop shop to give you all the ammunition to be an excellent bodybuilder. You'll find a community with like-minded individuals, live Q&As, ever-growing education for the beginner all the way to the advanced, and much more. To check it out, click the link below, or you can type in school.com/progressive state 5229. Because to me, that is a fun way to train. That is the fun way to train, is when, again, you're in this euphoric, in sync moment of like, you could just give these subtle cues and you
Yeah.
know where you're at. It's like, right, cool. Yep. He wants this. Cool. Yep. Right. I'm going in. He knows to be ready. Sound. That's great. I've had that before where people are like, ah, are you upset with me? Especially if I've trained with like an ex-girlfriend or whatever. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
why are you speaking to me? It's like, I'm just trying to train, man. That's it. That was my lesson. I was like, okay, cool.
I
Just
was, I
training.
was very fortunate that I had Crazy Dave. We always call him crazy. He's still crazy now, anyways. I had Crazy Dave to train with for a long, long time, and
Mm,
literally he's always on time. Just as soon as we come in, boom, thumb up, in, do the whole hand signals or whatever. We might need to speak a little bit, whatever. Even back then, like 2000, because everybody thinks I'm against social media and tripods and stuff. I'm not at all. I used to do videos back in 2012, I think, a long time ago for my sponsor Farmer Freak at the time. But it was no, we still didn't have to speak. I would train, we would film the workout, but I would never like kind of turn around to the camera and say, hey, this is the reason why we're doing this, and this is how you should sit and all this stuff. I would maybe put that in the caption or something, but I didn't like to talk during training and stuff, and I still don't like to now. If we have to do like a demonstration video or whatever, we'll do it away from training.
yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I do have to get a little bit busier on social media. I've got brands to promote and stuff, but you won't
Yeah.
catch me talking and stuff to the camera during training. I'll put it in the caption or something. I'm quite happy to stick a tripod there. My brother does it when we train. Doesn't bother me at all as long as we're not talking and messing around. I think that's
Mm,
the thing with the difference with the tripod is, or where they're like kind of like taking 10 minutes to set it up, and then they're doing the set, and then they're looking through that set before
yeah.
they. It's just distraction. It's easy to
Yes.
tripod up, film it, just move it over
Yeah.
there, next set,
Yeah.
whatever. Because
100%.
I
Yeah.
always get grief that I'm against tripods. Not at all. I've got about 5-man throttle tripods out there that I use
Yeah.
for check-ins and filming at max muscle and stuff. And yeah, I do need to get a little bit busier with it, but yeah, I'm not setting up lighting and stuff and reviewing my sets after I've done a set and stuff and all that kind of stuff. It gets
That's
filmed.
right.
If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. We're not doing
Yeah,
a
it
big.
takes the focus out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, because there's, pretty much as we're saying, there's a certain zone that you're in, and you want to protect that as much as fucking possible, right? And yeah, it's going to be very conditional in the sense that, okay, there's gonna be fucking rules. You're going to do your set, then I'm gonna do my set. You're gonna be in my set, and I'm gonna be in yours. And if we're gonna film some shit, anything that isn't to do with training is gonna be after, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that
I mean,
I can
Jack, so
see.
let's say you've done a heavy set of leg press
Yeah,
or hacks, total failure. You've done some rest pause, maybe even some force reps. Then the last thing you want to do is get up and look at your phone. I can't understand. I'll see guys getting off a leg press. Well, I understand why, because they haven't really pushed themselves. And the first
yeah.
thing they do is pick their phone up and go on Instagram. It's weird. I don't understand. The
I
last thing
have
I
to.
want to do is pick my phone up as
Yeah,
if to go on it and have a look at something.
if I've done a set right and it's been a crazy set, I'm trying to be okay after
Yeah,
a
you look
couple
at
of
it
minutes.
afterwards when you finish, when you have
Yeah,
a shake, don't you? You don't jump off
exactly.
the machine and like pick it up like shit. Was that
That's
okay?
it.
You should know
No, man.
because you should
Yeah,
feel a certain way.
doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing in that video at that time that I need to see, really, unless I've
Yeah,
changed something, um, and there's something to do with that, or I've injured myself, or something like that. The rare occasion, I would just need to. The After that set, I'm preparing for the following set. I'm getting my bearings, and then I'm going right. Cool, I'm getting in. Because
yeah,
when you've gone in at a set and you've trained at your utmost and you've done everything you possibly could do to output in that set, then the following week you're going in, you've got to do everything you possibly can fucking do and more, right? That you can't you can't be lackadaisy with that approach. That doesn't really allow any room to just go, yeah, I'm just gonna chill, because I nearly bled out of my eyeballs the last time I did it. So what makes you think that you're gonna pass this one? You know what I mean?
but I do
Um,
totally understand that not everybody goes to the gym for the same reason and stuff.
no,
Some people just go for a little bit of a workout, trying to keep fit. But if I've got a
just
guy who says to me, I'll say, "Oh, how comes you're filming so much?" Now and again, I will say to some of the guys because I see them like every single set, and they'll say, my coach wants me to send me some videos. So obviously they're trying to be a bodybuilder and they're trying to improve or whatever. And like I'm saying to them, like, let's say your coach has 50 clients and you sending him everybody's sending him 10 videos a day from your session. Like no coach is watching all those videos. Like it's
Yeah.
impossible. So they're just I get lost with it all. Maybe film your last set for your coach or whatever, or if he asks you to do some change the technique or whatever. We have guys like literally filming like every single set and they're in here for like 4 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're not gonna have a great workout training like that. They're not.
Getting distracted,
Or
aren't
as
they, watching
or
it.
as good as they can be. The
That's if
issue
you
is
want to be a
one
bodybuilder. That's if you want to build muscle tissue and
hundred
be.
percent. Yeah,
I understand if you might just want some cool stuff for your Instagram and your fitness tick or something, or
which
your
is yeah,
pose or something like that. But if you want to be a serious bodybuilder, you do have to learn to just switch off from that phone.
that's the disconnect, right? That's where the issue is truly, is when people are like, I am a competitor, I want this goal, and even pros, man, I've seen it,
Yeah,
and their approach to the actions don't meet the words, right? And I'm like, what the fuck, right? Because in my head, I know what those words mean to me. If I say I want this thing, and I know what I am willing to do to get there. So if I see someone, and I've had clients that are saying they want to turn pro or something like that, and they go into the gym and they're half-assed sets. I'm like, wow, that's just crazy to me. Or they can't follow a plan or whatever it is. I'm like, what's going on? Or someone's like, yeah, I want to do well at a pro show. I'm like, fuck, man. When I started bodybuilding, this is where I got into it in that the authentic like cult vibe. I was looking at Dorian Yates. I was looking at um, yourself. I was looking at Leroy, and I thought that was how you trained.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's how everybody trained back then. It was normal.
And I was 18 and I was like, right, okay. I was training like a maniac, right? I was like drop setting everything, probably, just going up, but I loved it, right? But I thought in my head, and this is even before I decided to be a competitor, I'm like, that's how people train. And if I don't do that, someone else will.
Yeah,
I do see this is the issue I have, right, with the newer approach, right? I would say I've got like a blend of, the mentality of the old school stuff and also what is working with the newer stuff, right? But I feel as though it's more of what can I get away with? How do I make this as easy as possible? Rather than how do I output as much as possible, you know?
yeah.
I don't know about yourself. Like what?
That seems to be the common thing. And I was like, back in the day, 75 years ago. I used to think like, how do I make how my workouts as hard as possible? Now it seems to be like you say, how do I get away with making it as easy as possible? That's why you
Yeah.
don't see a lot of people doing barbell rows and deads and squats and incline barbell press and dumbbell flies and stuff. And don't get me wrong, machines are awesome. We wouldn't have millions of pounds worth of machines in all effects gym if they weren't. They have their place. I mean, I would say over the years, even in my earlier days, I would say like competitive days, not when I first started with the Argos dumbbells and stuff, because there was really many machines then. My training was like 50-50 of machines and free weights. They both have the kind of benefits. But yeah, it's a tough one for you guys now because like back in the day, a bodybuilder would get paid to go away and train. That's how you earn your money. And then you came back and you won a contest and you got like your merits from there. But now supplement companies, you do have to be on camera. You do have to give a certain amount of value back to the brand and stuff. I remember, I won't say his name. I'll tell you off camera if you like. There's a certain athlete. He's actually retired now. He kind of got pulled from his sponsor because he wasn't putting enough content out. And he said, "Listen, I'm training to win a show. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Like if you don't think I'm putting enough content out, then just fire me because I'm not here to get content all the time. I'm here to win a show." But I understand, like you're a young guy, you want to get a sponsorship to be a better bodybuilder. then all of these obligations come with this contract that you got to do. And sometimes it doesn't make you a better bodybuilder just because you're getting the extra subs and a little bit of money and stuff and etc. Obviously, the top guys we're talking, that's big money, but just the younger guys, the younger guys who are looking for a sponsorship to progress in the bodybuilding kind of career. But it comes with sometimes so many stipulations that it just interferes with the training so much. You're not becoming a better bodybuilder. You just concentrate like, oh, what can I do today to look good on camera, or what weird exercise can I do to make it look different than everybody else is doing, type of thing. And I did actually fall in that trap a little bit for like a few months back in the day, and when I was sponsored, like a paid sponsored athlete, and then I thought this is ruining my training. Like, sorry, but it's just I can't do it. So, and I had a word with my athlete manager, and they were like, "Fine, we understand." So I was just the guy who was allowed to just train with a hood up, and I didn't have to talk to the camera. So I
Yeah.
was just doing this to my brother when we came in. Right, tonight we're going to film squats, and I would go in the reception, stick my thumb up, didn't have to speak to him. Plonk, plonk. Actually, we didn't have a tripod, we just had a camera, and that was it. There was no like interaction or anything. Or
Yeah. But
but it is tough
I
now. It's a total different game, and there's people making good money. I get it, but
mm,
hey, I would rather have the titles than not even so much the titles, just the I can't put it into words, to be fair. Um, and there's
these
another angle you can look from it as well, because Dorian and Leo had blood and guts. I was speaking to Paul Baxendale not so long ago. I don't know if you know Paul is. He used to train with Doz.
mm,
He's getting on a bit now. I'm sure he's in his 60s now, Paul. Sorry, Paul, if you watch this video, you're not in your 60s. But he said as much as he loved the kind of like no cameras and just total focus and everything, he would have liked to have some stuff to look back on now for the memories and stuff. So I think he can do a bit of both and not let it take over, if you like.
yeah, yeah. I think
I mean, you're a strong guy. You might in 30 years' time, you want to show your kids like, oh, this is what dad used to do in the gym, like six plate incline presses and stuff. You couldn't give a shit now. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm sounding like an old fart now, aren't I? But yeah, I didn't
But
care
I
about
think
same as a photo shoot. I used to hate photo shoots. Fucking miserable face, like, oh, whatever, let's get it done. Now I look back, I'm pleased I got those shots because I don't look like that anymore. It's nice to show my daughter. She asks about it a little bit now and again. So that's kind of yeah, you can do it, but you don't have to let it ruin your workout, do you? And take over your whole kind of bodybuilding career.
that's it. That's it. I think it's trying to I think you should prioritize the workout and everything else around it.
Yeah,
And
it's
also
going the other way around now, isn't it? That's the thing. The filming is coming first, and then the actual progress in the workout is coming second. And that's the funny
100%.
thing.
Yeah. And I think it's an easy trap to fall into because I've fallen into it a little bit before where I'm just talking to like I'm trying to make a video, right? And editing too much and whatever. And I thought, I'm like, why don't I just fucking I just put me off making shit, right? I
Yeah.
was like, why don't I just what videos do I like to watch? I like to watch raw fucking training, right? I like to watch the energy and the passion and whatever. I don't need different things explaining. Um,
You don't need all the angles and stuff. Like I'll give you one that because you had Dan on your podcast, didn't you, Mr. McNabb? So
mm,
Dan was like a couple of weeks out from a contest we went to train with Leroy. So we had a professional videographer. He's quite expensive as well. So we did that side of things. And then well, when Dan was doing his said I was doing a bit of iPhone just on the side type of
yeah,
thing. And we sat down and watched. And don't get me wrong, the feature stuff was great. James Grealish, fantastic videographer. He just doesn't do it anymore now, unfortunately. And I said, mate, like, which one do you like the best? And he's like, the iPhone stuff that's like unedited. And I was like, I'm the same. Like, that's all I
yeah.
used to do back in the day. I couldn't edit. I still can't now. I'll just stick some stuff together, and that is it. That's the best you're going to get from me. And I said this if I was going to start making content, you're not going to get any fancy edits and not and any special effects and stuff. I do need to get some content out there, but it's just going to be very basic and very raw. And yeah, that's the way I'm going to have
I
to go.
think I think people love that, right? If we're going to refer to Sam again, I think that's how he did well. Is he was
Yeah,
just
maybe.
iPhone, set it up, he would have a bit of a chat, but to the camera, but he was mainly it's just been the workout. He was chatting around the workout, and he was prioritizing the training. And it was raw. It's just fucking raw. It's not this lack of authenticity. I think that's the trap, right? Is you trying to script yourself and just coming across as something that you're not. Yeah, I for myself, like I want to just make raw shit that people are going to watch. I think that comes across better um, for the type of people that you know you want to make content for the people that you want to fucking who you'd want to watch.
Yeah, and that's the thing that makes, I've said this to Dan and Leroy and my kind of crew, like my kind of surrounding people, if you like. Sometimes I can't be bothered to make a video. I really can't. I just want to train, but I say,
Yeah,
especially with Leroy's here, because he doesn't come very often, type of thing. So if there's three of us, you got the one spot and you got someone with an iPhone, that's fine, whatever. And I like it when I get a message from some young guy who said, "Hey, Anth, didn't want to train today. Fired one of your YouTube videos up, or I watched you and Leroy train, and I fucking went to the gym and smashed it." So that's the thing that I get from it. That makes it worthwhile for me.
that's it, man. Yeah. And that's who you're appealing to is people who just want to fucking who get inspired by that shit, the raw shit. And I think that's I suppose the lesson around content creation, and that's the way to sort of tick both boxes is just don't overthink it, just fucking shoot some shit and prioritize the main shit for bodybuilding is the training, right? I think people will just watch that. You don't need to yeah, put on an act or whatever. I
Yeah, I can't
think,
put on an act any, but again, my training isn't
yeah,
it isn't that exciting these days, anyways. But we'll put some stuff up anyways, and like I said,
yeah,
that's what to do for the brand and stuff. I'm dreadful on camera. I'm so bad. 50
mate.
takes, 1 minute video. Honestly, we did some just older flex for our Father's Day kind of offer, and it's like take 57. Like, this is like a 30-second reel. Like, come on, let's get on with it. But again, I'm just not from that time,
no,
But
no.
it's just not my skill set, unfortunately. Or is it fortunately? I don't know.
Well, no, I think it's just you just again, it's scripted, isn't it? It's like anything that's scripted. You're just a an authentic guy. That's it. It's you
Hit the
being
nail on the
authentic. I
head there
think.
because a friend of mine said to me, "Hey man, you do great on camera." I said, "Yeah, on Instagram story or messing around because it's
Yeah,
tough." As soon as you tell me I have to say something and the camera goes there, it's just like,
yeah, man. Yeah,
yeah, we just have to pick the camera up and do some authentic stuff, I guess.
yeah. I think that's it. And looping it around with the Andrew Jackson and the Derek thing. That's like just want people want to see. Not that. They want to see
Please, I
the
hope there's
fuck.
no more going to come because it's like so bad, honestly. It is so bad.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. People just want to see authentic shit, right? And I think as well, it will stand out more. It stands out more when you've got everyone just scripting shit. It stands out when there's an actual genuine thing, right? Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I think unless you're appealing for a different type of audience, the whole. I think if you want because there's the saying, and I like it. It's like make bodybuilding great again, right?
Mm.
For that type of shit, and I think that's the way to bring it back. Is just be fucking authentic and show people like this is actual bodybuilding. Um, so a question for yourself: is there anything about, say, the new age era now that you like and go, hey, that's great. That's it's great that it's come to this. I like this in the training side of things or the bodybuilding process that you didn't have about when you were competing.
I mean, yeah, we are kind of talking as if it's all negative. I mean, it's not like that at all. It's just like say before you have a small gym with a small amount of people and no ladies coming in. I think
Mhm.
it's great that just more people are going to the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah, as you see, even if they're not trying to be hardcore bodybuilders or they are taking videos and stuff, they're still in the gym and there's worse things they could be doing.
mhm.
Go to the pub or whatever, or doing other weird shit that they shouldn't be doing. So that's a good thing. And I'm not saying that all of the younger guys don't train hard. We have a couple of beasts at Ultraflex Gym Durham. But yeah, it's just more people getting into the gym, more people trying to learn a little bit more knowledge rather than just being a little bit haphazard and just like your mate said this, so let's try it. There is a lot
Yeah, that's
more
it.
kind of info out there that people are taking in. Maybe it's a little bit too much. A friend of mine said this, which is probably right. Like, there's lots of information out there, but there's lots of bad information, unfortunately. But again,
Yeah,
you've got guys like yourself putting content out and trying to educate people. So yeah, it's good to see people educating themselves a little bit more. And yeah,
yeah,
there's more people in the gyms because we're not such a cult anymore. If you back in the day, like, oh, you go to the gym, or what you go to the gym for? What are you lifting weights for? Now it's even
yeah,
pushed upon, well, not pushed upon, but encouraged for like older kind of people, like 50 plus, to go to the gym and keep healthy and keep
yeah.
some muscle mass on the frame for longevity and stuff. So yeah, there's lots more positives. It's not just all Instagrammers doing weird videos and stuff with their arse out. There's, there's still lots of positives.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, it's true. I do agree. Like there's information out there, but also there is the notion of like the paralysis of over analysis as well. I think that's what gets a lot of people, which
The
makes it
internet, what
tricky.
is it? The internet is confusing people more than it's educating people, which I think is true, to be fair.
Yeah, I think because I'll catch myself sometimes thinking and overthinking. I'm like, do I? And because there's so much, like. Um, there's so much you can look at anything to a molecular level and under a microscope, but realistically, this process is so simple. You just got to eat a lot of food and
I
go to
mean,
sleep,
Justin Harris put it
plenty of train.
pretty good. He said, Traponi, he just said, listen, it's really down to train as heavy as you can for as long as you can without getting injured and get stronger. Eat as much chicken as rice as you possibly can over a long period of time. I think people are just expecting things to happen like a little too
So
quickly now.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
I mean, how
And
long
I
have you been
think
training now, Jack?
I've been training this. Oh my God, this has been my 13th year.
Is it? It's
My
still quite a chunk.
13th year.
So how old are
Yeah,
you now, Jack?
I'm 20. I'll be 29 next month.
Jesus, can't even remember that far back. So what's the next plan for you then? Because I know you did plan on competing and you had some complications and stuff. That was
Yeah,
like
so
last year. Sorry, but my timeline is terrible. Like,
no, that is last year. Yeah, I was going to guest pose at your sh show, and
yeah,
I
I
had to
remember now.
have surgery. And then I was like, right, okay. And then it made me sort of because I was so desperate to get on stage. I was like, I really want to compete. I really, but just because I love competing, right? I love the process, and I was still on a high from the season that I had. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to get back on. And I was coming down for it. I'm like, right, okay. And then I looked at it. I was like, okay, I want to, I need to grow a lot because I want to get to a point with my physique that I can compete on a yearly basis. So I'm like, if I just get a big chunk of growing out the way and I push up this year, I'm sort of coming up, coming down a little bit, resetting, and I push up the best I ever can. Because I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, right, I know how I'm gonna do it now. I'm just gonna, because sometimes I'll just be too aggressive one point. That I'm a kind of an all or nothing guy, so I'd probably push too far in the off season or push too far when I'm dieting. I've had the best results when I'm dieting when I'm like, I could balance myself a bit better. I'm like, okay, I just need to do that in the off season. So just push up and compete next year, and make a decent statement. That's the thing. Because I, you could correct me if I'm wrong, and you'll know more about this than myself. It's like when you're competing as a pro, there's a difference to take into account the stock of an athlete and the impression that you make when you're on stage. Like that will make a difference when the judges see you. If you have a certain stock as an athlete and you can gain momentum.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's not, I'm not saying like choose easier contests, but someone's probably best off not doing their pro debut with the New York Pro. You're probably best off doing like a European show or something. So you do stand out a little bit more. And again, that's not taking the easy route. That was my plan when I turned pro. I did like body power and I did Toronto, which is known as like a mid-level contest type of thing. I wouldn't say I was. being realistic, how old did you get blown away just trying to step into the New York Pro 212 against like guys like Jose Raymond and stuff? So you're there, you do have to be a little bit strategic in how you present yourself for your first kind of outing, if you like, unless you're a complete mutant. But yeah, you've got some good genetics, man. You can you've already made a good
Appreciate it,
impression,
man.
haven't you? So
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm thinking about Detroit.
yeah,
So
Detroit,
no,
it's a good show. Well, it's a really good show now, isn't it? There's some good guys doing it. And it's
that's
not
great.
the New York Pro yet, or it's
That's
not the
it.
Arnold yet. I know the Arnold's an invite only, but it's
Yeah.
teeth, isn't it? Yeah.
I think like a nice mixture potentially, you know. So one where I can get a true set because I don't want to. There isn't going to be a pro show where it's like easy pickings. There's you know, but I want to know where I stand because I know that that season is going to be where I stand, and I can judge my trajectory from there. I could judge the progress. I could judge how far I am off the ultimate goal I have of getting on the Olympia stage. And I'm like, right, that's got to happen. And it's sort of again that surgery made me check myself in the sense that okay, I just need to zoom out of bodybuilding because this is a long-term thing. And I'm like, right, what's going to be best so I could get to this bit here? What's going to give me the best opportunity? I'm like, okay, well, I need to fucking grow some muscle tissue, and I need to pick some decent shows that I can make a statement and also can judge my trajectory and just keep taking over, right? Um, that's the mindset of myself. It's like I just need to pay my dues, really, and get myself out there.
Yeah, and I know people say you don't have to do that, but you really do. What you want to do, Jack, is do a Dorian Yates thing where he says, listen, can you remember when he said, listen, if I don't place like, I can't remember exactly now, if I don't place like top three in
Yeah,
this contest, I ain't made
yeah,
out to do this thing. So put a lot of pressure on yourself that way. I think that's a good idea because a lot of people do kind of just like, we'll see how it goes type of thing. Yeah, you got to give it like, I don't want to do the 100% or nothing thing, but yes, you got to have that mentality, haven't you, type of thing.
yeah. If you're looking for help with your physique goals, I offer online coaching built entirely around you, your lifestyle, and your schedule. Whether you want to compete, build muscle, get lean, or simply look and feel better, you'll receive a personalized plan and the accountability you'll need to keep progressing. These are the same principles I've used to become an IFBB Pro and helped many others achieve incredible results. If you're serious about your goals and willing to put the work in, click the link in the bio. I'd love to help. If you give yourself that option, go, I'll see how it goes, or it's like,
I hate that phrase. I really hate that phrase.
yeah,
I'll see how it goes. Like,
even in your head, that's so even subconsciously, there's a bit
yeah,
defeatist. Because he opens the door to go, I can cut a corner here. It doesn't matter if I don't get it here or whatever. If you give yourself the ultimatum, it's like I have to place this, I have to place this show here. Then you are going to act almost desperate with your approach in regards to making sure every box is ticked and you give yourself the best opportunity to ensure that happens. I find when I give myself that level of urgency, that's when I'm performing the best. I'm like, fuck, if that's what I'm gonna do, it doesn't even matter if my show is in 50 weeks' time. I need to make sure I'm sleeping 8 hours tonight. I need to make sure that I'm drinking enough fluids and eating enough food. And I'm not having a day where I'm like, that'll do because we'll see what happens. And yeah, it's
isn't it a coincidence that, apart from the few genetic kind of elite kind of lucky guys, the first approach is generally the bodybuilders who are the best.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. The success leaves clues kind of thing.
Yeah, I got it. I remember saying to myself when I went for the pro card, I was like, okay, this is the show. It's the only opportunity I'm giving myself to get a pro card this season. It's the only one I'm doing. I was like, fuck, I've got to make sure this is right. Because I was coaching myself as well. I was like, shit, I need to make sure that I am on. with my approach here. I need to just make sure across. And I also was posting all the time, check-ins
Yeah,
because
you had no coach to blame if you didn't win, because that's the thing.
yeah, I,
44
I,
peak we were.
I that's it. And I was
Yeah.
posting to keep myself accountable because I was explaining what I was doing because like, I made those decisions. So I couldn't go, oh, da 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 da, because I already fucking posted it. I really tried to again apply that much urgency, back myself in a corner. So I was like, I can't even give myself the possibility of bitching out in any sense, physically, mentally, whatever. Um, and that really, yeah, it helps. It's fucking uncomfortable, but it works. It works. And I like that approach, man. I like it's the hard shit, man. Just not giving yourself a plan B.
Yeah, it's the old saying. And I actually had it on a t-shirt before Sean Clary did. It was book plan B, nail plan A.
Yeah,
His was
yeah,
slightly different, but yeah, obviously I didn't trademark it or anything, so couldn't ring Sean and say, Sean, get
man.
another t-shirt type of thing.
I know.
Not that I would anyways, type of thing. Sean,
Yeah,
Sean's a good guy, actually. That was my
yeah, man.
I placed ahead of Sean. I placed ahead of Sean at Toronto. Like I think I got 10th and he got like I think like 13th or something. So yeah, that was before he became a total mutant though.
Yeah, I
He was
know, man.
he was even crazy back then. So yeah,
Yeah, it's what a crazy career he's got, man.
yeah,
Because he smashed it as a natty. He's just smashed everything. He's like 2-on-2, even open shows winning like crazy. Where like one of the rarest. I remember seeing him in person actually. In clothes, you're like, okay,
yeah.
cool.
I remember seeing Lee Priest, a friend of mine.
Yeah,
We came to do a seminar in Newcastle, and obviously Lee's quite narrow as well, isn't he? And this is when Lee. I don't know if you remember this, Jack, because it might be a little bit before your time, because I'm old as fuck. He went over to PDF. Can you remember that federation?
no, go
So
on.
Lee went from IFBB. Wayne D'Amelio brought this new federation called PDF. I think it was called. It wasn't a PDI or something like that. And he came to do a seminar. He was in contest shape as well in Newcastle. And you only have those nice downlighters that make you look even better, like the bathroom ones. And I remember my training partner Dave at the time was like, "He doesn't look very big because he's quite short and he's narrow, isn't he?" And I was like, "Just wait till he takes his shirt off," and like his face just like dropped. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's all illusion, isn't it? He's insane, man. Honestly, his fucking arms and stuff are just crazy.
100%. Yeah, I think that's the I keep getting taught that bodybuilding is such a fucking illusion.
Yeah, honestly,
Whenever
when I first saw Ronnie Coleman backstage, because I was backstage helper, one of the Grand Prix, I think it was 98 or 99 with the crazy lighting. I was actually backstage helper there 1 year.
yeah,
And I saw Ronnie in a tracksuit. I was like early 20s. I thought I was doing all right with a big sustain on head and everything. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing all right. And then I saw Ronnie in a tracksuit. I thought, he doesn't look that big. And then he just took his tracksuit off and he's like, fucking like, he had so much muscle, he looked fat. It was just hanging. And I was like, oh, yeah, I think I might just buy a fishing rod or something. Like, that was my kind of wake up call.
mm,
Need to see those guys up close to see like the difference. It's crazy.
100%.
Who's the
Yeah.
craziest pro you've seen up close, Jack?
Phil Heath. Phil
Phil,
Heath.
I've seen Phil Heath backstage at the Olympia where literally didn't look anything. He looked quite smooth actually. And then he just kind of hit the most muscular and was like Ronnie
Yeah.
was a bit like that as well. I would
Yeah.
have to say for me it was Marcus Rule, just absolutely fucking stupid.
I can imagine. Oh my God.
Just shape.
I'd pay to see it. Did you ever see Dorian?
No, Dorian was like literally how I met Dorian was I met Dorian back in '98 after he retired.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
kind of just starting. I was a big Dorian Yates fan, like 93, 94. But I was kind of just starting out then, so I didn't get to see him compete because I was only young myself. And I
Hmm.
became friends with Dorian in '98, like a year after he retired. Because I remember he was coming down the thing and Kerry Case, I don't know if you know who Kerry Case is. He's a bodybuilding legend. He's like, oh, he does now. And I was like, well, that isn't Dorian Yates. Like he's not like 315 pounds. And it was a little bit of a disappointment, to be fair, but
Yeah.
I didn't get to see Dawes. A friend of mine had seen Dorian at the Mayfair in Newcastle and said it was just absolutely absurd.
Yeah, because obviously the thing carries around that he carries around is like you had to see him in person. It
Yeah,
was,
that's every person I've spoken to who said the same type of thing, especially contest time.
yeah. And I'm like, I wish it's one of those. It's like, because obviously the photos, you're like, that's crazy. But I just wish I could. There's certain physiques that I wish I just saw in person. I think
Yeah.
definitely Donny, Ronnie, 100%. Even when I saw Phil Heath, it was in the off season. Um, but he never got too big in the off season. And this was after he lost his he had his first loss. So he was still pretty much at his peak. Um,
Phil seemed to have like fibers where people didn't have fibers. I remember like getting a picture of
yeah,
him at the Olympia one time when he was in contest shape, and his forearm seemed to have like an extra brachialis on it. Like it was
that's it. Yeah, it just like
strange, strange, like
yeah,
Newton physique, definitely. Like
yeah, and
station where nobody else had it.
it's just how the muscle falls off it. It's like a bulging cow, one of those blue
Yeah.
cows. Like, yeah, yeah, it's crazy just how it hangs off him. That's where I was like, this is fucked. This is nuts. I don't think um I don't think there's been a pro that quite looks like that, to be honest. In regards to the muscle bellies that he's
Yeah, and
had.
then like the uniqueness. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was quite unique in regards to that. But this is what excites me about the idea of competing. This is why I'm really excited to compete because I want to obviously climb the ladder. Um, but also I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of bodybuilding. So just to go and compete against these guys and go, whoa, holy shit, and seeing these in person, have those stories. It's I think that would be because I always think about like what would it be like when I retire with the stories that I would say, you know?
Yeah, this
Um,
one with like the training footage and the like photo shoots and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hated every one of them. I don't say hated them, but I'm pleased I did them now. And there's lots of stuff where I've felt uncomfortable, like doing seminars or I remember like Strength Asylum and this place where me and Leroy did a seminar, like people were watching us when we were training. That was
I
weird
remember
to me. But like
I was at that
that's the
one.
stuff that you do that, puts you outside your box just a little bit. That's how
Yeah,
you build your character, isn't it? Like standing in front of body power, like speaking to thousands of people. That's not my thing at all. And that was sprung upon
no,
me as well. I was like, shit, yeah, do that stuff, man. That's what kind of molds me.
yeah,
The art type
for
of thing.
sure. I remember being at that seminar, the 20
Yeah, it was a strange
years
one.
ago.
It was a strange one, that one.
Yeah, it was a very unique one.
No, I'm not about the training and stuff. There was some strange stuff
Yeah,
happening. I remember my sponsor at the time sent us some samples, and James, the guy who was doing the YouTube live, he was like, "Listen, remember that you're live here. Like everything you see, you can hear because you got a mic on." And I was like, "Ah, fucking Farm Freak's been a bit tight with the samples this time, haven't they?" I was like, "Oh shit, like, can you take that out?" He's like, "Not really, it's up there now." So I was like, yeah, it was a
that's
fun
funny.
time, and he's a good guy. I actually saw
Yeah,
Arnold for the first time in a long time. He's a good
yeah,
guy. So are you
yeah,
training destination? Or are you training at Strength of Sound? Because you were at Derby, I've noticed. Maybe you're
yeah.
racing or you just dot around a little bit, Jack.
Bit of everywhere, man.
Ah, see, I couldn't
Because
do that. I used to have a
uh,
headquarters. And that was it.
I've noticed because what I was trying to do was train with different people.
Yeah,
Because I wanted to train with people. I wanted to, have because what I notice is that everyone's very secluded and just, train on their own. And you see in America, everyone's always like collaborating and stuff like that. And I was like, I just want to train with other like-minded individuals.
yeah,
But I noticed again, much like yourself, I do like having headquarters and just a place where I'm consistently in routine with the machines. I know where I'm coming, where I'm going, being structured, because I think what sort of had me doing that is because I've been bodybuilding since like a step foot in the gym. I have just been doing that over and over again and been that person who's very monotonous. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go to another gym and train with different people. And I'm like, okay, I see why I was that way.
yeah. That's where
I
you
can
make
see
the
it
best progress.
that I can see where that's pulling me. away from making that type of progress. So I think I'm now more training at destination. Um, I will still, every now and then I'll go to strength because I love that gym. It is a fantastic gym. I'm just a bit closer to destination at the time being. Um,
I mean, nowadays you have a lot more choice. Like you see, my gym had one leg press, one hack squat, one leg extension. Now you could like go, I like this gym for back, or I like this particular gym for chest, or like there's a
yeah,
lot of choice now. So I get that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
I do like
have my
that.
gym, that was it. So
Yeah. And that's probably at some point. I think I'm just going to be nice and structured in one gym for a bit. And I think I might do that at some point if I have the free time. It's just mainly just having the free time around it. But again, I'm like thinking about setting up my next phase. I'm like, I'm going to be just absorbed in bodybuilding. I allow myself to be this, creating the perfect Groundhog Day. And I think that is what makes a great bodybuilder is you've got this day where everything's just pretty much the same every day, repeated. You know when you're gonna eat, you know when you're gonna work, you know when you're gonna train, you know when you're gonna shit. It's just yeah. I think that's how you make great progress. It's like the best
yeah,
bodybuilders
that's
I
what I
think
say to
there
my
is.
guys who are coach. I'll just say like because some days will not go to plan. There will be
Mhm.
things that go wrong, but that's out of your power. Just make every day as close to 100% as you can get it.
Yeah,
Um, and that's all you can really do.
100%, mate. 100%. I think. Yeah, I think my mistake was trying to add. I think it's nice to have breaking in regards to just added a bit of novelty because I think you can go so far with just being monotonous where you're like, I'm getting a bit burnt out from this because it's a bit like fucking prison. But if you could
Yeah, I was
create that,
weird 'cause I wasn't like that because I was just like a cyborg, like, and I don't
yeah,
just trying to sound all hardcore. I think it's just when I was in that zone, it was weird. I've
that's
actually
it.
learned a lot from that, to be fair, since coming out of bodybuilding, why I was like that. It wasn't just for bodybuilding, but yeah, it's just like a fucking cyborg, like nothing else mattered type of thing.
But I feel like, yeah, you could thrive in that environment. I think you just got to create a day that suits you, that you don't burn out, where you just repeat the day that you love doing, right? It's like, yeah, eat the foods that work, but also like have some foods that you enjoy, right? In that day, so that you don't feel the need to fucking indulge or whatever the fuck. But some people just
I
built
was
for
weird.
it.
I used to like punishing myself for even though for a fact some steak instead of some chicken, so I'm going to do anything. I was like a weirdo. It had to be that. It probably had some detriment as well, type of thing. But hey,
Yeah.
live and
Um, yeah, I feel like some people are better built for that. Some people are just literally built for bodybuilding, not just from a physique standpoint, but from here that they can withstand that.
yeah,
Um, I think that is. I remember actually asking you this, and it stuck with me at the seminar. I was like, the mindset side of things. How do you install that into someone about? And you said there was a genetic side. There's a genetic
yeah.
side.
Some people just don't have it. Unfortunately, they could have the physical genetics. I know a couple of people who have like physical genetics that are absolutely unreal, but they just don't
Mm,
have that that push. It's just like there's always an excuse, or there's always something goes wrong, or if they have a problem, it interrupts their workout. Like you have to be able to. I'm not saying ignore things, but you should just be able to put like partition that off to sort that out later. I could go a little
yeah.
deep with it all, because I'm writing the psychology now. That's my thing, so that's how I've kind of learned a lot about with the whole bodybuilding process. So
I love that shit. I do love that shit.
yeah,
Yeah. It's about yeah, partitioning it in the right way.
yeah.
Being present with this thing. Literally, um, allowing yourself to worry about the thing at the right time of worrying it.
Don't get me wrong.
Um,
If your wife's in hospital having a baby and you're just at a bench press, you got to like. I'm not saying that, but
yeah.
generally it can wait. It's
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 like, what can you do whilst you're there?
Yeah.
What in this, like, is this the thing that you have to do? Like you say, if this is an emergency, like, oh, your house is caught on fire, okay, cool.
Especially
But
Arnold Schwarzenegger and your car's on fire. And that was
yeah,
a load of bullshit, wasn't it? Like, yeah. So
yeah, you
I didn't go
fucking
to my dad's funeral. Like, yeah, that was proven to be rubbish as well, wasn't it? So
yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff was, the I suppose there was scripting shit back then.
yeah, like Derek and Andrew back.
Yeah,
Yes.
holy shit. Maybe that's the
Maybe it's all
real
his
true.
fault. We just all
Yeah,
got tricked.
no, nothing's real. Fuck.
Well, Lou Ferrigno didn't actually speak to his dad, did he? So
No.
no, he wasn't actually friends with his dad. So yeah, maybe he was
Yeah.
just duped all of these years.
Yeah. Well, I heard that it was
Maybe Ronnie didn't even eat barbecue sauce. He was on
yeah,
chicken fried white rice. That was it.
yeah. He literally just had it and spat it out and then whatever. Fucking hell. Um, so question for yourself is, and you might have been asked this before. It's quite a cliche question. If you could go back and change anything, what would you change?
Um, the only thing I would change is in training wise and stuff. I would listen a little bit more to my body when it was telling me to stop. You know, I do believe in deload weeks or light weeks or whatever. I think they used a little bit too much now, and people don't need them as often. But I would not listen, and I probably wouldn't train everything like 6 to 8 reps. It's just too hard on the tendons and the joints and stuff. So I'd probably up the rep range a little bit. And when my body's telling me, when I can't sleep, when I'm irritable, when my strength's down in the gym, instead of trying to push harder out of the hole, just chill out a little bit, come back to it. I learned all that way too late. So yeah, just not train heavy and train to failure. I don't think there's anything wrong with HI training at all, because I get that all the time. Oh, do you think your injuries are because of this high HIT training? So no, it's because I'm nearly 49 years old and I've trained for like 30 plus years. Like I only got the bad injuries the back end of the last 5 years maybe. So I don't think it's a training style, but yeah, definitely the too low reps all of the time. Don't get me wrong, I've never had this conversation today actually. Never ever did a single ever on anything. Say how much can you bench for a single? I've never
Yeah.
ever done ever. But yeah, not so much low reps all of the time, and just listen to my body a little bit more and take note
Yeah.
when it's screaming for me to stop type of thing.
I think already because I'm not retired. Yeah,
You're just getting started, man.
yeah. Already I've sort of picked a few of these things up where I'm like, okay, I wish I listened to my body because I've got niggles from just even little niggles. The sort of stain now because I'm like, I didn't listen to my body, right? And I'm like working around a couple of things and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you do have
Yeah,
to
it's
be,
just
yeah, you do have to be a little bit smart, but then again, that you've got it was like yesterday, like I had a trade with my brother, had some pre. I can't press heavy because of my tricep. Since it's been repaired, it's just not the same. And I was on the Atlantis press, and because I used to do like 6 plates on there, I'm like, yeah, I've did three, it feels all right. Let's put four on. I thought, let's just not, because you're going to end up with a fucking torn arm again. Just do a few more reps and leave a couple in the tank or whatever. It's
it's
just that it's this that kind of it's still
yeah,
unfortunately or
yeah,
fortunately, but yeah, I have to be a little bit safer now because I can't afford like another serious injury because the tricep really has limited my training a lot. Even though I had many other injuries, this one was like the one that kind of fucked me, if you like. So yeah, when
yeah,
you get that in your head, Jack, that you think you should like maybe steady away, I would probably listen.
yeah. This is what I noticed because I think, going in, not listening to my body, again, pushing too much, or probably overtraining, because I've in the past loved drop sets and all this, type of stuff. And I think every now and then it's nice as a treat, but this is where it's like,
Yeah,
it's the low rep stuff. It's like, right, I'm gonna really go for this, and I'm like, maybe not, maybe just
it's tough though
do.
because if you don't have that mindset of you want to push, push, push,
Hmm.
that's kind of where it propels you forward. Like if you didn't have that kind of
It is,
better than being
yeah,
the other way and like, oh,
that's
let's
it.
six left in reserve, and let's just leave it a day, like, and let's train easy all the time. That's going to get you fucking nowhere unless you're a genetic freak. So you do have to. It's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
is.
don't be doing any crazy 3 rep shit. I've seen some.
Yeah,
Sure, saw you doing some hammer inclines once. I was like, oh fuck, what's going to happen here? Like,
yeah, I did.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, when it goes like this and it's like moving
yeah,
at a different speed, I'm like, shit.
yep,
Yeah,
yep. I honestly, yeah, I've done that shit, man. I need to stop doing that. But again, it's that thing in your head. I
uh,
remember I was on prep when I was dieting last year. Did like 7 plates of the hammer incline. I was like, okay, cool. The following week I did 8, and I was like, okay, stop now. Don't no more. Right? You're supposed to be dieting. You're doing that. Like I had to fucking have a word with myself. Right? I tell myself off. I'm like, I'm like, I'm glad I did it. I liked it, but I'm like, you'll. If I'd tore my shit, I'd be so
yeah,
angry at
yeah.
myself.
You were lucky, basically. Yeah, and you'd be you,
Yeah,
and that's another thing I would do as well. At 4 weeks out from a contest, I wouldn't try to be doing like I used to still be doing like forced reps and negatives and stuff. And there's
yeah,
absolutely no need to do that. Just train to failure or just shy. And but again, back then we didn't really know anything else, to be honest. We just like go until you can't go type of thing.
yeah, yeah. And it's fun. It's fun. It
Yeah,
is.
that's the main thing, isn't it? It's fun and it's
Yeah,
challenging. Like
that's it.
it's accomplishing something.
I wish. Yeah, I think. Yeah, for me, it's just realizing that being injured is not fun. Like one of the worst injuries, the worst injury we've had thus far, and that's with me, and apparently it's with me for life. It's tearing my labrum,
Yeah.
and that took me out for a good while, and I was like, still, I could feel that shit, and I'm like, wow, it's
I remember my first shoulder injury, and they actually didn't get to the bottom of it in the end. It was just a cut out because I was a lot bigger for my frame. I had a lot of impingement. It's causing so much pain. I couldn't even like press like 5 kilos on the Smith machine, and
mm,
my training was mess for like 5 months. And I was like, shit, like, what if I can't train ever again? Like, what am I going to do? Like that you should let that thought creep into your head now and again. If I do this. Will
yeah,
never be able to train ever again. And I was so depressed because I thought that was it. And I was still quite young at that time as well. So luckily, we got over that. But yeah, just
that's that's it. That's what I think. I'm like that thought does cross my mind because I remember doing that, and I'm like, I couldn't train. I was like, fuck. And I'm like, I'm hoping that does get better, you know. Like I still press. I'm obviously, not as bad as I was. I could press and do all that stuff. But I think to myself, yeah, if I actually do something where I can't train again or I have to retire, that fucking sucks. Way
yeah,
more than me telling myself I would just do a couple more reps, you know.
especially if you're nowhere near your full potential. Like, I turned pro pretty late. I can't remember when my last contest was, but I was getting, I was getting on a bit. My injuries were getting pretty bad. I knew I wasn't going to get a ton better. I expected to do like another season. So but you're still young, you still got shit tons ahead of you. So yeah, be careful, man. I sound like your dad now, don't I? I'm that old
But
guy who I didn't used to listen to telling
But
me.
to be honest, I need to hear that. I needed to hear this shit, because I've also it's crazy because it trickles down. Because I remember saying this to I've said this to people. I've said this to people. I'm like, they be like me, you know. I've got a couple of injuries because I didn't thingy. I think I had this fucking conversation just today actually, because I was training with someone and they said, I was like, your shoulder's coming out a little bit. It's like, all right, I need to drop the weight. And I'm like, yeah, you're smarter than I was at this, at this training age. I'm like, fucking hell. I sound like his dad, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I used to get the old guys like be like warm up a little bit. I'm like, yeah, let's go away, it's old man. Like not in an
yeah,
arrogant way, but I don't need to type of thing. Like,
no, yeah,
yeah, I'll definitely warm up. But I say this to my brother all the time, like because he's a very good bodybuilder, really good physique. He's going to compete again. Like going in the gym, having your pre-workout and doing a few laterals and the curls is not a proper warm-up.
no,
Like
no,
spend a good 15, 20 minutes warming up correctly. And it puts you in a good mindset as well when you're thinking about your training, what's ahead and stuff. And
yeah, yeah. It
in
gets your
that I warmed
focus.
up for like 6 minutes, 6 seconds yesterday or something. Like it's like, yeah, I need to listen to my own advice sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like again, you just it's fun to just go in and go after
Yeah,
it.
it's like a few weeks back, like Leroy's here. He doesn't get to come very often. All the
Yeah,
guys together. It's nothing to do with ego. It's just the energy's there. It's
yeah,
fucking
that's it.
everybody's firing. I was like, yeah, yeah, put an extra plate on the Haggard. It was moving fine. And then the third
Yeah,
rep, it just my knee went. I was like, oh, fuck, why did you do that? Like, you could have just done one less plate for an extra 10 reps on top. But again, you
yeah,
just get in that kind of get that headspace where it's
you
just fun,
do.
man. It's just fun.
It is fun, man. And there's people. Do you know what pisses me off? Um, because out of just pure nothing but pure bitterness, right? For the fact that
At least you're honest.
I I see people lift horrendously
And they don't get
uh,
injured.
and they don't get injured.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've seen it for like years, like certain individuals like for years, and I'm like, they're still injury free. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's got
Fuck.
to be genetic because again, I had this the same when I was saying this conversation. It was 2 days ago, and I said, go back over any of my videos. You'll never see me do a single. You'll never see me do anything outlandish. Yeah, my training was maybe a little bit explosive at times, but I would never say it was ever sloppy. And I got injured as shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the diabetes thing affects the tendons and stuff, and that's probably a big part of it type of thing. But yeah, I would never think I did anything crazy or went tried to go too heavy or did anything like really sloppy. So I think it's just a bit of bad luck sometimes or genetics or whatever.
Yeah, I think it does play a role because you see it in say like strongman, right? That there's some people that just have the strength there, the injuries just take them out, and they just can't. That was a big one for me when I've used to watch it. I was like, okay, yeah, some people are just getting injured every time they attempt to get to that level of lift. Like they can actually lift it, but they can't. And some people are just solid, absolutely solid. Um,
I say
it's
this
a
about Leroy all the time. I'm sure he's a vampire and he's got like titanium joints or something because he's 62 now and he's still fucking like banging away. And I'm like, shit, like fucking, I'm only like coming up, I'm 40, like 49 basically. I'm 49 in a couple of weeks. And like, I can't imagine another 10 years of like smashing the shit out of myself like that. So yeah, big respect to Mr. Davis. He still loves it.
yeah.
But
I,
even
I wasn't.
he said he has to kind of slow it down a little bit. He gets wrong off the wife. He gets wrong off Mandy. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, Jack,
yeah.
we're talking like this, like you're like 50 years old. You're like 20. Did you say 29?
I'm trying
These are
in
like
that
your peak
20.
years. 29 to 35 is like machine mode, man. You should be fucking killing everything.
Yeah, yeah. I think
In a
it's just
sensible way, though.
yeah, yeah. I think it's just there's a few warning signs where I'm like, okay, cool. I just need to
Yeah.
chill the fuck out now. Um, because I'm like, I think it's because I'm thinking, right, I need to put on so much size, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is where I can't see that size being added on through lifting heavier, if that makes sense. And
Not
adding,
really, because you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to lose weeks of training. And that's what
yeah,
forward. So I get it. I totally get it.
yeah, that's where I'm sort of seeing it. And I'm like, I just need to find other ways to train hard. I'm like, that's the exciting thing. And it's the exciting equation of bodybuilding. It's like, okay, cool. Because things just evolve over time. It's like whenever I've seen a big thing for me is when I see a pro and they're training hard, they're not lifting as much weight, and they're fucking a lot bigger. I'm like, okay. That's what I say to people. It's like if you see a pro and they've got a lot more muscle and they're lifting the same weight as you, there's something there, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, see, you know your incline pressing more than like Samson Dowder. Like, obviously, there's a genetics part that comes into play there.
Mm, yeah,
Instead of trying to go like 11 out of 10 all of the time and getting injured, just try and do like 9 out of 10 consistently without getting side railed. That would be my kind of
yeah.
outlook on
I think it is. Yeah, yeah. Because I think there's no trophies for like how many plates you can add on
it. Yeah.
an incline press or whatever. Um, but yeah. So I think that's what I love about bodybuilding is it does force you to balance yourself to be good at it. You got to constantly balance yourself. It's like when you're dieting, you can't just fucking kill yourself on cardio all the time. Um,
I learned that way too late. I was still doing like 2 hours cardio like three
yeah,
days.
yeah, and I feel like that is, people are bragging now. Again, it's this whole thing of like fi- the easiest way to do things. People are bragging about doing as little cardio as possible. Um, I feel like it's not as common nowadays where people are doing hours of cardio. Um,
Hey, if Dorian Yates used to do an hour and a half cardio, if Ronnie Coleman used to do 2 hours cardio, and Sean Ray and Kevin Levroni, I don't think it's going to hurt you too much. I'd rather somebody do more cardio
mm,
and more food, to be honest. Maybe
yeah.
2 hours is short periods of time, but is a slow walk on the treadmill that fucking derogative to your recovery? Yeah, if you're blasting on the Stairmaster for an hour like speed 8, like that's going to fuck you up. But
Mm.
again, it's a fine balance, isn't it?
So would you say more movement, less food? More,
I
sorry,
would
more
always go
movement, more food.
with more food, more movement.
Yeah,
It's getting more micronutrients in there as well, aren't you?
yeah, yeah, yes.
And not too much hard cardio because I see people on the Stairmaster for like an hour straight. I would maybe do like if I was doing some looking back because we only had like one shitty Stairmaster at Max Muscle. I
Mm,
didn't even use it to be honest. Like if I was doing an hour's cardio, I would probably do 45 minutes steady state and then maybe it's a 15-minute interval on the stairs or something. I wouldn't be
yeah,
doing like 2 hours of Stairmaster a day. But again,
no,
there's different schools of thought and there's different people because I remember speaking to Jose saying he needed to make weight for the 212 and he was doing 3 hours of Stairmaster a day, like morning, afternoon, and night. So again, it's
wild.
works for you, I guess. But I think, looking at the physiques from the past, the Stairmaster wasn't a big thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's good for it has its purpose, but not you don't have to do 2 hours of Stairmaster a day. Just get your ass on the middle of the bike.
yeah, no, yeah, that makes sense. Um, do you think there is a difference in the quality of the physiques?
1,000%. And I find it very bizarre how, say, for example, someone has like shredded glutes and a soft upper back. I don't know how that happens. Because, the glutes is like the area where it comes off last, usually, isn't it? How could you have like a striated glutes and quads and stuff, but like soft traps and lats? I mean, again, unless it's the old site injection thing, I really don't know. Unless it's because the heavy poundage isn't being moved around as much. Because I do think I know the studies don't show it and all that kind of stuff, but I do think like the people who train heavy do have the denser, more conditioned physiques. I don't know why. I don't have any like PubMed explanation for it, but yeah, it's strange. Just these weird soft body parts, but like shredded glutes. It's
Yeah,
bizarre.
I do think that's strange. Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, why do you think that is? What 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 do you think is the biggest change in the quality of the physiques? Is the biggest contributing factor?
They just don't seem to have the same density. The roundness and the fullness is there, and the size is obviously there, but they just don't seem to have that like granite fucking hard density that they used to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you reckon that's more because Kevin Levrone was on about this the other day when I did a thing with him, and he was like that very the old school mentality of free weights. You could tell that a free weight is built a physique. Do you think that's got something to do with it?
I think so, yes. And I don't think it's particularly just because of the free weight. I think it's because the person who chooses to use free weights is not scared of like hard work. So if they use a machine, they're probably going to put the same amount of effort into that machine as they did
That I
in
could agree
the
with.
free weight. So just because again, the studies show whatever, the studies that your body just knows mechanical tension and it doesn't know whether it's got a barbell or a dumbbell or a machine press. I don't believe that. You've got all these stabilizing muscles and stuff. I just think it kind of transfers over to the person who isn't scared to do like heavy T bars and barbell rows and squats and deadlifts. They
Mhm.
will carry that same mentality over onto the machine. So I don't think it's the difference between the machine or the free weight. I think it's just like the mentality of the effort level. Because if somebody's a
Yeah,
lazy bastard and they don't want to do any incline barbell press, they're going to be a lazy bastard on fucking incline chest press machine, aren't they? Type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's my
Interesting.
kind of look on it anyway. From what the studies show about your weight, your body doesn't know the difference. Like my body
Mm,
used to know the difference between pulling out a 3 bar incline press than a Smith machine press. I can tell you that for now. It's much
yeah,
harder.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you're choosing
It
the hard
is.
stuff, you're going to choose. You're going to bring that. You're going to take that training hard mentality over into the machine stuff as well.
See a big focus in training where people are trying to isolate.
Yeah, it's a weird one, and people don't realize that your body is built as a leverage system, so it's not
Yeah,
supposed to isolate everything. And I think it's leaving a lot of gaps in people's physiques and stuff.
yeah, 100%,
And you're going to
100%.
get injured as well. I see guys in the gym that doing like one arm pec deck, like, and I'm talking like, not no disrespect, just because every beginner starts at the start, but like you're 130 pounds, you're doing one arm pec deck, you probably haven't got great stability in your core and stuff. You're probably going to injure yourself even more than doing a fucking 2 arm pec deck type of thing. Like, why is
Yeah,
everybody trying to isolate everything? One big thing right now is single leg extension and leg curl. Like, I don't understand why. Why is that? Is there a reason why everybody's doing that, or is it just a trend? Or
I think that a lot of things are trends. I think a lot of people jump on trends,
they
not
see a big
knowing
guy doing
why
it.
they're
The
doing
big
it.
guy definitely
Yeah,
didn't build his physique by doing that.
no. I think a lot of people don't know why they're jumping on the trend. I think there's an incentive behind certain things because the reason why I would do single leg stuff now is just to make sure I could be
You look cool on
symmetrical.
Instagram, Jack.
Just look cool. I could be down with the cool
No, I do
people.
some single leg stuff now because I have some nerve
Yeah,
damage in my left side, in my lower back, and my left leg,
yeah.
but fire as well. So yeah, I will do that. But when I was starting out, I was just like, why? What would be the point?
That's it. Yeah, it's very time consuming, man. It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like so I like single leg press because it just allows me to keep myself a little bit more center so I can hit more that outer sweep a bit more. It's just little things like that. But this is what I mean. Is that relevant for someone starting out? No.
Probably not.
No, because that's very specific. I'm doing it very specific. Um,
And you got
and
to go
that's
leg, so it's obviously working. So
it's yeah. I mean, this is stuff that is relatively new because I've looked at my physique and I've gone, okay, cool. I can probably sound. Um, and that's where I can sort of add on to that. But I'm also making sure I've got some meat and potato movements there. It's not in replacement of something else, and it's also yeah, that I've had to get to a certain point where I can then it again, it wasn't because I saw something, it was because I'm like, all right, this makes sense. Let's try this. I think a lot of
you
people
saw Nick Walker doing some single leg presses.
Nick
You
Walker.
started
I
to.
wish he trains very unique, doesn't he? It's like how I don't he's
Well, I
very
do know he
big.
used to train monstrously heavy with free weights as well.
It
So
does, it
there's the
does.
clue again.
He used to train very heavy, but he's also still getting bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I don't know whether it's because he's gotten to a certain size where he could just connect with the muscle
Yeah.
so well.
I
And
do
I
think that has
think,
a lot to do with it as well.
yeah, I was going to say, do you think that could be that is the case where people get to a certain size and it's almost that their ability to recruit muscle fibers so effective that they don't need to, or they can get away with training lighter?
Possibly. I mean, when I
Yeah.
train now, obviously I'm a lot smaller. When I'm training back, I don't get that connection the same because the same like the more tissue isn't there. Or it could be that Nick's taking that much GH and IGF, he's got just more satellite cells there and they're just kind of responding.
Uh,
I don't know. That was my
yeah,
thought, but yeah.
it could
The
be, man. It
genetic
could
thing as
be.
well. Whatever he's doing
Yeah.
is working. I mean, I don't think we'll ever find out the exact reason unless we do a
So
study on him. But
that's it. That's it. That's it. It's true. It's true, man. But yeah, brother, we've been on for a hot minute, and I don't want to keep you because I know that you're quite sleep deprived at the
yes,
moment.
gonna have a
And
sauna, go straight in the shower and go straight to bed.
Yes, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate, to chat with yourself.
Not a
And
problem.
I need to get my arse up to your gym. I
Yeah,
really,
it's not
really
that
do.
far for you, is it?
Um, there's probably like I don't know, a couple of few hours. I'll probably dip up with Smee, um, so we can do one set.
Yeah, we'll get you in the hardcore corner and we'll do the whole Yates workout in the hardcore corner on the pullover and stuff. We get on that
Fuck
all.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'm absolutely game for that. We'll do that shit.
Yeah,
And
we'll get the tripods out. We'll get actually there's no tripods in the hardcore corner. You're not allowed to take a tripod. You're
oh
allowed to
yeah,
film in there, but you're not allowed to
yeah,
set a tripod up. That's the old rule, just to try and keep a little bit of old school kind of vibe going in there. But you're allowed to
I
film.
love that.
We'll get some good
I love
footage
it.
for the good old days, man.
Yeah, mate, you sold me. You sold
Yeah,
me.
I'm waiting for the call, man. I'm waiting for the call.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Let's line it up.
I'll, I'll, let's do it. Let's do it. Cool.
Okay, man.
It's recorded now, so it's got to happen.
So you've got a
It's
choice between legs or legs. No, if you come to Durham, you got to kind of do back because it's got the original Yates pullover in it, has it? So
yeah, yeah,
we can do a bit of back work, and I can still train back reasonably okay. Uh,
yeah.
we'll get a session in, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Probably back and then another point legs,
We're
but
just what
yeah,
you want to do is come Friday night, you do back Friday night, stay at the travel lodge over the road, literally 5 minutes away, and then you can do legs the next day, and then just go and sleep all weekend when you sort it.
yeah. Okay. Cool. This sounds great. This sounds fucking great.
I even get
Okay.
Leroy involved. Leroy's due a visit. You never know, he might turn him out the blue. Tell you, I always tell people before Leroy kind of steps away from the game because he's quite old now. He's not old. He's advanced. I'll say that. I don't like the word old. He is stepping away a little bit, and I say to guys, listen, get a session in with him. He isn't all just screaming and shouting and all that shit. He's a great person to train. If he just gives off some weird kind of vibration energy, I can't explain it. It's fucking bizarre. I got that the first time I trained with him as well. So, and every time ever since, I just get that weird kind of, I don't know whether it's a respect thing, but he does give off some kind of like weird vibration. I'm not getting all weird here. Anybody's trained with him, they'll know what I mean. He's just
Yeah. Nice.
finds the space. So yeah, try and get a session in with Mr. Davis before he fully retires.
I'm on it. I'm on it. That's been like a it's been one for the bucket list. That's definitely on the bucket list. My bodybuilding bucket list. There's certain things on there. I think,
Yeah, I get messages all the time, like, oh, Leroy, and in answering these messages, like, I want to get a session in with him. People from like Russia, America, Mexico, and like, I'm not his manager. Everybody
yeah,
thinks we live next door to each other. We live 3 hours away, and I'll mention to Leroy, he's not into like answering DMs and stuff, and now and again he will, but he is getting a little bit better at it. So hey, hit him a DM. You might do a bit of PT down in Birmingham or when he's here or something. Or
yeah.
yeah, we'll
We'll
definitely
learn
get
some more.
definitely get that back and legs session penciled
Okay,
in. Point.
cool, cool. I'll see you when I'm free. We'll fucking do that because it
Hey
sounds
man.
sounds magical. Brother, like I say, an absolute pleasure, mate. Hope you sleep tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely get at least 3 hours tonight. Mr.
Oh,
No Sleep.
you're a lucky guy, lucky
I
guy.
am I am a bad sleeper, unfortunately.
Oh man, fuck. Maybe some melatonin or
Yeah,
something.
I actually take 40 milligrams of melatonin.
Fuck.
Dorian's got me on the big melatonin dose kind of gains train.
Shit.
Melatonin, ashwagandha, ZMA, maybe a little bit of puff on some other stuff, the sleepy
Yes.
stuff.
Yep,
Perfect.
yep, yep. You're on about the CBD, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course, CBD, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah, I
inflammation.
see. I see, man. God, I mean, if that's not sending you to sleep, man, then you're just meant to be awake.
Yeah, it's the diabetes thing, man. The blood sugar goes up and down. It keeps me awake. It's a pain in the ass, man. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Never mind.
Shit, man. Shit. Well, I hope you do sleep tonight, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, mate. It's been a conversation that I've wanted to have. We'll definitely grab that session in. We'll probably have another podcast at some point as well.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, and keep killing it, man. And we'll see you at Durham sometime soon.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, man,
Catch you in a
over and
bit.
out. Take it easy.